The camp they call the Jungle is home to up to 10,000 migrants, men, women, families, and of course, around 1,000 unaccompanied children. All this is meant to be razed to the ground within the next few days, and so belatedly, the Home Office has begun to really focus its efforts on bringing over those children eligible to come to the UK because they have relatives in Britain. Some of those who've been brought over, though, according to critics, look far older than 17. Here in Calais, there are very different criticisms, that what's being done is too little too late.
Well, I think we can all agree today is one to celebrate it. We've seen 15 unaccompanied children arrive safely and legally to the UK in the arms of their loved ones as part of this Home Office process. But the process is really chaotic and really confusing here on the ground in Calais. We've got hundreds of children who are eligible for this Home Office process, and we're very, very concerned that vulnerable ones will be left behind.
And there's some talk of the process allowing in people who aren't really children as well. Do you have concerns about that?
I don't have concerns about that. I trust the Home Office verification process, and all Safe Passage clients that go through our process are verified, both the family link and the age of that child. I think it's a distraction. I think these are children and need to be treated like children.
Those unaccompanied children who do have relatives in Britain are interviewed by officials here in Calais, and their relatives in the UK are contacted too. Shamir is from Afghanistan and has just started the process, telling authorities he's 13 and has an uncle in London.
I submitted my case and they said you will hear from us in 3 days. I don't know if it will work.
One of his friends, 14-year-old Rahimullah, died last month trying to board a lorry. He had a brother in Manchester and so was eligible to come to Britain, but delays with his application led him to take his chances.
He was a friend, he was a good guy, but he died. That incident happened and now London should take in more minors, so incidents like this won't happen in future.
There clearly are lots of genuine and vulnerable children here. There are also men desperate enough to claim to be children to escape. For those that are over 18, the closure of this camp is unlikely to be the end of their journey, despite French plans to relocate them across the country.
The problem here in the worry are the people who are not going to seek asylum in France and will not go to these accommodation centres, and they still want to live in the UK, and they'll be forced to disappear, and they will not have the support of the volunteers and organisations here or the infrastructure to provide them any quality of life.
And do you think, how many people do you think are likely to want to carry on trying to get to Britain?
I imagine that there will be thousands.
Frustration in the camp is increased as the deadline to demolish it draws ever closer. As the light starts to go down in Calais, that's when the tensions between those living in the camp and the police begin to rise, and you see these scenes of conflict with tear gas being thrown. We've been told by aid workers that with the imminent destruction of the camp coming, that those living here, including the children, are becoming more and more desperate in their attempts to get to Britain. This is clearly no place for any child. But even if the Home Office somehow manages to bring over all those children with relatives in Britain, it leaves stranded here even more with no link to the UK, but desperate to go there.